Hey everyone, welcome to the horror show. I'm Cecil Laird.
Jaime Fuego!
Here to do our spoiler discussion for A Quiet Place.
Can you tell we're excited?
Man, you guys, we loved this movie. And
I had to temper it down a little bit during the non-spoiler. This movie is flippin' awesome.
It's
From
so
top
good.
to bottom, just the execution, man.
The execution was amazing.
Tremendous.
They were entertaining the whole way through.
Yeah, I was captivated.
Every aspect of the film. Every aspect of the film.
Yep.
85 to 86 minutes
It's listed
max.
as 90 on the IMDb.
Oh my god.
Maybe that's just a lot of credits at the end.
It's so good, you guys. It's
flies
so
by,
good.
too.
So, all right,
Because
here we go. Let's do it
never really loses
chronologically.
its momentum. Yeah, let's talk right.
Chronologically.
The very beginning of the
Very
movie.
beginning of the movie, the opening scene, as I said in the non-spoiler review, without revealing anything, is the scene from the trailer where the kid has the spaceship, the space shuttle, and it's making all that noise, and Krasinski looks around, he's like, and he starts booking it towards him, and then you see the creature off to the side, and Emily Blunt, like, I was like, this is not going to go well. The only thing was her going, like, oh my god, he's dead. Yeah. He's dead. He's gonna die.
But
and when I saw it in the trailer, I was like, that kid's gonna fucking die.
I wondered if he was gonna get to him just in the nick of time. I was really thinking maybe that's what was gonna happen.
That is not what happens.
Not what happens.
The movie starts off day 89.
Yeah, and
this is day 89
cool
post-apocalypse.
We were just dumped right in there. Okay?
Right into it.
There's no backstory given. You are just there.
They're searching
in this
for
world,
supplies as a family together. Following this sand path.
One of the kids is sick, and you can tell that
they needed to get some medicine.
The scrounging that they have to do, and the manner in which they have to do it, with just having to be as quiet and tact and careful as possible. I mean, I can only imagine the amount of stress that initially puts on you. But they're well, not even shoes, because they're not even wearing shoes. They're all barefoot. Then they've lived in these bare feet. I was gonna say they've lived in these shoes, but they've lived in these bare feet a while already, and. Then after the incident you mentioned, it jumps ahead over a year.
Yeah.
It goes
well
into
over
day
here, like
420
something. Yeah.
I think it was like 470 something. 471.
Well, no, that was the second time jump.
Okay,
471 was the second time jump.
That's right. But,
so I think it was 420, something like that. And we see that it's been over a year. But that's the thing. The deaf daughter feels responsible because the kid. Okay, so in the store when they're hunting for supplies at the very beginning before the kid gets taken, the kid finds the space shuttle
because
Krasinski.
Remember, he's like, that's how we'll escape is on a rocket.
Exactly. Yeah. And so Krasinski sees it, and he, like, his eyes go wide. Krasinski's acting is amazing.
His emoting is tremendous.
He sees his kid, his eyes go wide, like, and he, like, reaches for the toy, grabs the toy, and you see that there's batteries in it.
Yeah.
And so he pulls the batteries out, and he puts it aside, and he puts the toy aside, and he tells the kid, he's like, listen to me. No. He's like, too loud. And the kid is, like, noticeably upset, but, you know, Krasinski's like, okay, we gotta go, and we move on. And the deaf daughter feels bad, and so she hands the batteryless toy to the kid.
Takes the batteries out of it.
No, the batteries have already been taken out.
Right.
They're already sitting there. She hands him just the rocket, and then, you know, the kid kind of smiles, and she smiles, and then she turns and walks away.
She's just like, be quiet about it. Don't let Dad know.
Exactly. And the kid grabs the batteries. And then leaves.
And I guess right then and there, you should have known.
You should have known. So we see in the trailer that the space shuttle comes alive as they're about to cross the bridge. Something is running towards him as Krasinski's running towards him. And then he's about to get him. You see it in the distance running through the trees. Krasinski's about to get to him. And then all of a sudden, whoom, the creature rushes across the screen and grabs the kid. And then it cuts to black. And then you see the Quiet Place. The Quiet Place title, and then time jumps to like 420 days or something. So it's been over a year, and we see that Emily Blunt is pregnant.
Yeah, which, as you can probably tell, you're like, how horrible would it be having a crying child in a world where you have to have everybody be quiet? That's like, it was really funny. We had this woman sitting behind us, who at one point in time in the movie, she's like, "Is your dumbass fault for getting pregnant?"
I didn't hear her say that.
I laughed so hard because there is a scene where her water breaks in this movie that's one of the best in the film, but we'll get to that later. It's cool to see this farm, like, compound that they have put together, where they
complete
presumably
with Christmas lights that actually have meaning.
Yeah, where they've been living presumably safely, because with the exception of the one lost child, everyone else in the family is intact, and they're obviously they're succeeding at surviving. You know, I mean, they've got a bunch of corn and crops and stuff like that. And they've got all kinds of jarred foods down in the basement and whatnot. And also, Krasinski has been doing extensive research, as you see in the trailer. He's down in the basement. Not only is he trying to help his daughter with her hearing, working on little hearing aids and stuff, but he has all of these newspaper clippings, and he's got dry erase boards where he's written down the things we see in the trailer of the fact that they're armored, they're sightless, they're
Do they have a weakness?
Yes.
And we
find
do find
out
they do.
eventually.
Yep. Exactly.
Cool.
We do find out. So yeah, the scene, the movie opens up with them literally losing a child, and then that sets off the drama for the rest of the movie because the deaf girl feels responsible, and apparently Krasinski never expressly told her that he still loves her after the fact, which we find out through a great scene between the son and the daughter.
Yeah, but you also see the husband and the wife trying to still be positive. You know, they have this new life coming. You and I were both really moved by the scene where
music scene.
She comes in wearing these headphones and she's listening to a song.
He's doing work. He's doing his usual thing, testing out, frequencies, trying to find other people out there.
Yeah, taking apart little stereos and all kinds of different things.
Trying to fix his daughter's hearing aid.
Because he does love her, even if there is a little tension and maybe some resentment and stuff like that, he still cares so deeply and is diligently working to help her. And Blunt's character comes in, and now they're married in real life, so that obviously you would presume helps with on-screen chemistry, but she takes off the little earbud and puts it in his ear.
And then the music kicks in.
Beautiful Neil Young song.
And it's while they're dancing, in their, subterranean bunker. Yeah. In this post-apocalyptic world, they're having this moment of love and levity and family. And
it's a beautiful scene.
It's a beautiful scene.
Moved me significantly.
God, it was such a great movie. It was so good.
That's going to be something that keeps coming up.
So something we have to say is, let's finally talk about the creatures.
Yes, that's one of the things that we didn't want to spoil too much.
We did not want to spoil the creatures.
It's a very unique and interesting design, combining
lots of different elements
of different things,
but three specific elements.
You had two, and then I threw in one.
You had so I'll give one, then you give one, and then I'll give one. Okay. So I would say that it is very akin to the liquor from the Resident Evil series, both the game and the most recent movie. We actually saw liquor, which was basically all brain and all teeth in the mouth.
And we're talking big, just rows of
chomper teeth.
Exactly.
Like that kind of shit, really nasty
and
teeth.
There's some effective bits where you finally start to see some close-ups and just
and then also, not only that, but when the hearing membranes open up and it really truly listens, and you can see it throbbing with sound.
Yeah.
It's fucking cool.
Their sense of sound is ridiculous, which is how they're able to hunt from such a great distance away. They do allude in the film, though, that he wrote down that there was 3 of them in the area. Remember?
3 in the area.
3 in the area.
But there was obviously more than that.
I don't know. I only saw 2 at the end.
Oh no, there were 2 in one camera angle and then another one from a side angle too.
Oh.
There was more than just the 3.
Oh, well, he thinks there's 3. He's written it on the dry erase board. But okay, so you gave your single interpretation. There is also, besides those teeth, there is an opening flower forehead thing that reminded me a ton of the creature in the first Stranger Things, the upside down.
Well, the Demogorgon face opens up, but you know what it actually reminds me of is Tremors 2, the above ground Tremors, where the infrared thing flies up, because it was just its whole. But the thing is, its whole head was sections of that.
It was. Yeah.
So it was a bunch of different sections that would open up and listen for sound.
It would open up, which was the thing where I made that comparison. So what was your other one, man?
What my other one was?
The other creature comparison. I think it was something from Cloverfield.
Oh yeah. No, sorry. I was like, what? No. So mine was that. Yeah, it was definitely the liquor from Resident Evil, and then the creature from Cloverfield, because they walked on their knuckles and they had these hands Like, the hands were really cool, too, because the hands would grab the wall and go...
But they were also
and then they would grab the stairs banister and look so unnerving.
But they were also insect-like, in my opinion, in the manner in which that they were like jagged upward like this.
Well, that's the thing. The creature in Cloverfield walked like a monkey on its own
exactly.
Wrists.
Yes,
almost.
But the talons, it was. I love the design of the creature. The one thing that we tried not to touch upon too much was it's pretty much a CGI creature the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I think once one of them gets killed, I think that was some practical after the shotgun blast.
Maybe, probably not. Actually, maybe. So? I don't know. We never got that close up of it. It was just behind the the shelves.
So we do see some creature death, but it's more so just the tension of these people being stalked because of the fact that they're armored. They don't know a weakness yet. They're still trying to pinpoint something and figure something out, which we'll probably mention near the end if they eventually do. But the scenes of tension in this, the one that you had one that you wanted to mention, I really have to mention the one where her water breaks, man.
Yeah.
And where the worst part is this happens when she's alone at the house because the father and the son have gone off to have another tender, very genuinely acted moment.
And the daughter went up
where they're at the waterfall.
too.
She had one to go. She went to
regarding the kid that she felt responsible for.
They have like a little memorial on that bridge.
She
with a cross
figures
and
out
pictures and
how
stuff
to light up the toy without it making the sound.
Yeah, so she cuts a couple of the wires and then it'll light up, and it's just her way of remembering him and just dealing with her grief. Everyone deals with the grief of the lost child in a different way in this.
That's
which
is what
makes it. It shows just the depth of the acting chops and stuff. Once again, being able to emote so much without saying anything.
Agreed.
And, yeah, but the mother is alone while her water breaks, man. And she's trying
the scene
her
in the trailer when
damnedest.
She's in the bathtub.
Yeah, is because she's going
so
into labor.
unnerving,
yeah.
dude.
So she's trying not to make a lot of noise, but
and the creature is literally coming up the stairs and clawing the walls, like I said, and like you see in the trailer in the aftermath.
She's trying so hard. She's going into labor, and she's like trying not to make a sound. And then when she steps on the nail.
I actually literally I gotta be honest, I'm a horror fan and I've watched torture porn to the cows come home. I closed my eyes.
Did you?
I could not see it. I
could
not watch it.
It made my skin crawl.
Could not watch it. I did watch her pull the foot slowly off the nail.
And yet credit to her character for being badass enough to go barefoot all the way down on this nail and then just like be like trying so hard.
She Home Aloned it.
Yeah, she did. But so she's like dragging her bloody, messed up foot practically, and you see the footprints of blood.
And then the creature is in the fucking basement with her. Like, there's so many times that happens, and you're like, oh, hell no!
So many tense moments.
The moment I wanted to talk about was the underwater moment. When she wakes up and half the basement is underwater, the baby is floating halfway through the room, and then there's a creature on the other side of the room, and the creature dives into the water, and you can't see it.
She has to wade through the
she
water
wades
to get
through
to
the
her
water,
child.
and then she gets to the child, and as she reaches to grab it, the creature stands up right on the other side, big teeth and all,
and it's dripping and stuff, and she's just
like,
the child quiet,
and
she's backing
up
quietly,
like,
the
oh my god, it was so good.
And obviously the thing making sound in the room is the flow of the water that's flooding the basement. And so she goes and hides behind the water, and the creature comes right up to it.
Oh, it's so good. There's a T-Rex Lost World moment.
It totally was, because of that. I mean, just seeing it that close to her and the teeth behind the flowing water.
So good, dude.
There are, as I mentioned during the regular review, these are some of the most nervously tense scenes I have encountered in a movie. Especially a PG-13 movie.
Especially considering he was sitting next to the creature from the Relic movie.
Yeah, we had
someone sitting next to us that basically sounded like that's what it sounded like the whole movie. It was like the fucking creature from the Relic. If you've seen that, the guy with asthma.
Stan Winston stuff.
Oh my
so
God.
Good, yeah. So there were times when I thought that was like part of the movie, and I'm like, wait, is that the guy next to me, or is that?
No, it was the guy next to you.
Yeah, and also the noises that the creatures made when they were close were unnerving, man, and the snarly kind of crazy.
Good.
Man, another great scene, the scene where the kids fall into the corn in the
yes,
silo.
we see that in the silo in the trailer.
Yeah,
and then the creature drops down behind them.
Yeah, but they're
all they have is a metal door.
And yeah, which had broken off, and that's how they fall in the first place. But they're like gonna drown and suffocate in this.
That's
corn.
what didn't make sense. Like they saved each other from drowning in the grains. And then, in order to escape the creature, they lay in the grains and put the door on top of them.
But they had
and then the
creature just like barely.
Yeah, I know, but the creature had all its weight on them. They should have been fucking sinking in and drowning.
Well, it's because it was CGI.
Okay, yeah, granted, but you get my point.
Yeah, but
still, I excused it.
The luckiness of the fact that it puts those claws. Boom! Right through the metal, and it just barely, narrowly misses.
Dude, those
them
creatures
and stuff.
were so good.
I love.
We
the
did not
design
lack
creatures,
for
man.
creature appearances
you
in
see
this
a
movie.
lot of
There's a lot.
You see a lot more than we expected too. Initially, it's the Jaws mentality, where well, not quite the Jaws mentality.
No, you even see it scampering.
You see it scampering. You see it out of focus in shots, like where Emily Blunt's hiding down in the basement, and you see it up at the head of the stairs, kind of thing. But it doesn't shy away. Once they finally show them in their true form, they don't back off. They just keep bringing them, man, and they're really genuinely terrifying. And I consider myself a creature connoisseur over here, and these were damn good creatures, man. Very well designed, very cool, and genuinely scary.
I think we're up to the last two spoilers.
Yeah.
And that is that while John Krasinski played a phenomenal father, there's foreshadowing throughout the movie when the son is forced to go with him because it's like, he's not going to be around. You have to take care of me at some point.
When my teeth are falling out and my hair is gray.
Yeah, exactly. Cute. Fucking loved it. Emily Blunt knocking it out of the park. Great scene with her son.
But they were foreshadowing that.
Krasinski
might not make it.
Krasinski fucking dies.
Yeah, and it was.
It's so cool. And the way it happened too, he's like, oh, it's right up there, and like whack.
Yeah.
And then he gets mortally wounded.
He grabs like this, and it was like a pickaxe and he's walking. And well, it had the pick on the other side.
Yep.
So a pickaxe, and he's thinking, okay, it's not gonna see me, and I'm gonna just sneak up, and when I see it, I'm just gonna go right through its head. Maybe it'll work, even though they're armored, whatever. And then it's hiding up on top. And it just
whacks him in the side,
mortally wounds him, presumably,
and then attacks the kids in the truck.
Yeah.
So the kids are in the truck, and it's your Jurassic Park moment, trying to fend off the T-Rex.
And this film did, in a lot of ways, draw inspiration from both Alien and from Jurassic Park, in my opinion. It really, really did. Just some of the setups and some of the scares, but
this
they were
moment,
done so effectively.
This moment, though, the creature was trying to get into the cab of the truck. And the daughter,
the kids aren't making noise. They're scampering around too much for the creature, not to.
But the daughter that feels like her dad hasn't loved her since she cost them their son.
Constant theme.
And the other son told the dad in an earlier scene, "You gotta tell her if you still love her. You gotta tell her."
Yeah.
And so Krasinski stands up, and he drops the axe to the side, making some noise.
Yeah.
And then he sees the daughter, and the daughter looks at him through the back of the cab, and he's just like, I love you. He's like, I've always loved you. And she breaks down. Oh my God, it's gonna get me going.
Sad scene, man.
Dude, it's really sad. And he looks at them, and they just, the daughter looks at him, and he just goes, ah! And fucking the creature launches at him, and they put the truck in gear, and they get away, and it's so
but obviously, since they're rolling, the creature, after it gets done with him, or one of the other ones, is going to come after them, so they run into the house, and the climactic scene where we figure out what actually affects these creatures, it makes perfect sense, and yet it's like, oh, that should be obvious, but it's organic, and it doesn't feel forced, and it's like, oh, that's the perfect explanation that these things with such an incredible ability to hear are going to be affected by sound.
And so the daughter with the hearing aid is having it malfunction, and as it like spikes,
they give you
the creature's like, and then it like kind of runs away. And so at the end they finally figure it out, and it's just the son with the baby, the daughter with the hearing aids, and Emily Blunt with a shotgun. And the creature comes down, and the daughter like blasts, puts the hearing aids in in the microphone, and it just, you know, like the creature's like, and then
like
it falls over.
Its brains
Scrambling its brains, right.
Yeah.
And then
and you honestly think it's
you're
dead.
like, you
I
think it's
wondered if
dead.
it was dead.
And then you see like the mom and the daughter like, and in the background you see the creature standing
Rise back
up.
up.
And then it launches at them, and Emily Blunt just turns and just,
as it's opening its mouth though, or its weird little head,
it just
flowery whatever,
blows apart its head, right? And so
because
the shotgun blast,
it was in
though,
full armored mode. So if it was in full armored mode, she presumably it would have. I mean, because this thing was like shredding through metal and stuff.
Yep,
I mean,
yep.
But yeah, it was the membrane.
it's actually
stuff.
not far off from the bugs from Starship Troopers as well.
Yeah, shooting them through the mouth.
With the you know, that kind of thing.
Well, it also felt like almost like the climax of certain video games where you're like trying to find the weakness of the creature, like when you can shoot them. It's like when the mouth opens to a certain degree, or when like the little weak spot. It was almost like House of the Dead type stuff.
A little bit. But they took care of it, and then the shotgun blast brings. They look at the you know, bank of TVs, and they see that there's a bunch of creatures running at them. And so Emily Blunt turns and looks at the daughter. The daughter cranks the volume all the way up, grabs the microphone, grabs the hearing aids, looks at her mom, like nods, and the mom's like, and then it cuts to black.
Yep.
And you're like, what? What?
So
That's
bad.
where it ends. They're gonna fucking rock these creatures. It was a badass ending to a badass movie.
And it did really.
Oh, it was so
with
good.
An ending like that, we had somebody in the non-spoilers review ask us, "Did it leave it open for a sequel?"
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it did.
A big badass Aliens-esque sequel.
Oh man, wouldn't that be dope?
It would be so dope.
They did it like that,
dude. It would be so dope. Yeah, no, I am so on board with The Quiet Place. This is my favorite horror movie of this year so far.
So far,
absolutely.
I mean,
we're here. It's pretty. It's April.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah. We're a third of the way into the year, and I don't see anything coming up that's going to dethrone it in the very near future.
No, not necessarily.
No. This movie was fantastic. It was entertaining, and all of the spoiler aspects were pretty much nothing short of cheerful.
Yeah.
Like cheerful from an audience perspective, not cheerful in tone, cheerful in that the audience was like,
we were captivated and entertained or unnerved like nothing I've seen in a while, man.
The creatures were so
nothing
cool
I've
looking.
seen in a while. There are so many tense, just on the edge of your seat scenes, man. No film in a very long time in recent memory has done that for me.
No.
So props to Krasinski, his team. He co-wrote the screenplay with a couple of guys who've done very little else. Couple shorts and one other movie. I can't remember what it was called, but not an extensive resume. But what a all-encompassing experience they put together here, from the sound to the creature design to, I mean. If you haven't watched our non-spoiler and you're still interested, please do, but I feel like we hit most of the big, major, interesting, badass beats of this movie pretty well, man.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. So, you guys, if you've watched it, let us know in the comments down below what you thought of it. If you watched this ahead of the release, hey, you know, we can't blame you.
No,
what did you think? Are you excited to watch it anyway or not? Let us know in the comments down below for that, too. Until next time, I've been Cecil Laird.
Gracias, Jaime, Fuego!
And remember, stay scared!